Okay, hello, how are you? I hope you're doing great. So, there's a lot of issues with this. First of all, you took the template, which is perfectly fine. Now that you took the template, you're supposed to remove data that you're not going to use. For example, this active orders and everything else, you're not going to use them. So, as soon as you take this template, you remove all of these that you're not going to use completely. You just use the essential information that you're going to use, right? And the role. So this role is supposed to determine whether when you create the user, is it an admin or someone else? That's when it comes to that. I'm unsure exactly if you plan on doing that. Let me just see the sign in. At least the sign in has to be customized. So I'm gonna reduce this. Where is the sign in? Welcome screen. Why is it welcome screen? Sign in with email and password. So signs in. Okay, this one looks normal, but this is a normal step. This is the usual step that you take. The problem with this is that you do not create the data. You don't just sign in with the email and password. You need other sets of data. Which data are being collected? You need the age or maybe the name, something like that. I mean, you can take a look into it later on. Alright, and let's take a look here. This is kind of not concerning but confusing for your end, because this is a data. This is a controller, it's a GetX controller. It's a system we use to control the app. And then this is a model. They do different things. This it makes a data set that you can store data in. And this is a controller. So you're supposed to keep them in separate files. So for example, I create a new file here, directory, I name it model. I mean, you should see how I normally do it with other apps. I separate them to make sure they're perfectly not arranged together and everything else like that, right? So now we have controller and we have auth data, right? If you see these errors showing up, then just remove them and then re-add them again. Then the errors will go away. Let's take a look at this one. It seems like there's some errors here, meaning that you've applied this to the project. Let's see what you've done. So you can see here the zip code. Okay. So this is client create create profile. Okay. Not good. I'm gonna be very brutally honest with you. This is not good. This is not according to plan. And the registration page too. This is not good. We have to remove this. And remove this. They are not needed. Right? Forget all that and just focus on the app. This is the home page. Now let's go look for the home page. Before we do, let's remove all of this tabs. And we search for the main page. We come here, main page, home. And then once this is, by the way, this was commented out like this, which causes an error, maybe if you, I don't know if you did it or not, but it's not, it doesn't work. So we have home here. Then once you get into home here, we have a sets of data. So now in this data, they already have form in them and everything else. Like if you press control and then tap it, holding control and tap it, take a look at the details, you'll be able to see that there's text form field already inside. So it already has a validator that already checks the validation process and already has a label or an error that is replies back with. So what you have to do is simple as this, right? This already has a form, this already has a form. So what you have to do is just come up here and then make a form right here. So just make it a form. Simple as that. Now you have a form. I think we can make a global key underscore form key. Make it. Well, now there's a specific way you make a form key. So you can ask GPT to see here how to make a form key. You write the final stage. Okay, form key. we've taken this, make it state form key, remove the ending, it's final. Now we have form key added right here. Name it key, form key. Simple as that. So now, just by doing this, now this that has form within it, it can already check the data. So this is what I was talking about. You do not need to write the whole code over again, the form and everything else. You can just add this and then it's done, you know? And there was not really direction. You're heading a completely different direction than this one was providing. It clearly says login as admin, login as school. So let's say login as admin, right? Let's focus on that one for now. So let's say, what if we were to log in as an admin? We'd get over here. Let's see. Okay, we can see get. This is the navigation that navigates it to the next page. But before it navigates it to the next page, just need to check if the users entered the form key right? And then, as you can see here from ChatGPT or Gemini, provides us with the details how we can check the validation process. We do not need to add this widget data here. Just add it as it is like this, and then it should work. So I'm just going to close this in. So it says that there's a certain issue. So let's take a look. I think ours have a different name, so that's the reason why. The key and key. Validate. This looks outdated, or is it replace it with a question mark? Perfect. Or replace it again with a different thing. So normally this is like the most used resources here. So now just by doing this, you don't have to do much. Just by doing this, you'll be able to check your email and then password, right? I'm gonna add a new functionality that checks like whether you entered, how many characters you entered and everything else. But for now, we're trying to do some basic things. So these are one of them, you know. So what we're going to do next is that we're going to take the same code, and just apply it here, and give it an ending, and then good. So now, whenever we're trying to do, let's say, we're going to try to rerun the whole application once more, and once we have it rerun, give it a few seconds. The only simple thing that you would have to do right now is just to press login as school or login as admin to see if it'll actually work. Okay, awesome. So now let's press this. See? It says please enter your email. Please enter your password. So what happens here is that these already have forms, right? And there's a key here. So this key is going to go into these forms and then makes it a validation system of the current state. So let's say we go into this one and then we try to take a look into this one, the validation process. Why does it say please enter your email? It's because it says please and then we provide it with a label. In the current label, it says enter your email. We just added please above it, and then now whenever there's an error, it says please enter your label. So it's really that simple. It's not really complicated or confusing or anything just like that. So this is how we're able to get this one completed. Right, and let's take a look at the next region. So now that we've had this discovered, we can resolve it later on.